Point
Yeah,
is,
what do you want?
oh my god.
I
But
have
like,
lost all hope.
You have lost all hope. Why?
No, I lost all hope, so I left. Anyways, continue. What were you saying?
yeah,
Okay.
sorry. So as I was saying, it seems like there is an overwhelming like I think the way that Russia is doing the bombarding and I think one big piece of evidence is the Safari drones. Have you heard of Safari Fire?
No, I mean I have no idea about
Okay.
Russia, Ukraine. To be
So
fair.
so so this is a
I
very
mean,
known public thing. It's not fake news or anything. So what Russia is doing right now in terms of actual attempts at genocide, like Safari, is they are doing like crowd-funded drone strikes on civilians. Like, as in, Russian civilians right now have the ability to contribute to something like a fucking GoFundMe for war crimes. And then what they do is that they fund enough money to the point where Russian military can send drones after whatever civilian target they choose. So that is a real thing. I think Dylan Burns is currently trying to document that part. And in addition, they're also using the Shahed drones to target civilians specifically as well. Like, it isn't just about, okay, are they targeting military infrastructure or are they not targeting military infrastructure? It's very, very clear now after like days and days and years of this kind of shit that they are targeting specifically civilians. Shrapnel weapons, shrapnel bombs, anti-personnel weapons. The reason why anti-personnel weapons used in civilian areas is particularly damning is because if you're just targeting military infrastructure, you'll be using explosives. Okay, you'll be trying to destroy it. Whatever. Long story short is that they're using anti-personnel artillery against civilians. I don't think this is happening in Gaza. I just don't think that's happening in Gaza. The thing is that what's happening in Ukraine is insane. It's unhinged. Okay, for example, another piece of evidence is that I think one particular Sunday, I think it's called the Sunday Massacre or something, where it's a Christian holiday. You have a bunch of Ukrainians gathering, a bunch of extremely religious Christian Ukrainians gathering for in a very tight corner, and specifically, Russians would target that specific spot just to kill civilians. In addition, another piece of evidence is this: is after Ukrainian civilians get hurt, the sometimes they call it a double tap, where they attack them once, and then after the medics come to the scene, they bomb the same spot again exactly. Why do they do that? It's so that they can kill the medics too. And there's literally no good reason to do that unless you're like a fucking like animal. Like you're a butchering animal. That's what you are, right? For to
Okay,
do
well,
something
so
like that.
first off, the
Anyway.
killing of medics and evacuating personnel is happening on both sides. So I don't know about that. But second off, the thing I wanted to address was most egregious in your conversation with Fire was that you were saying that, like, okay, so basically you repeated the exact same point which Fire was critiquing you for in that,
Wait, hold on, hold on.
like,
You wait. Can you give me a piece of proof of Ukrainians targeting Russian medics?
yeah, like every
Yeah.
single drone video which the Ukrainians
No, no.
themselves
Give me
post.
give me an article. Give me something. I don't know.
Do you,
Like
okay, but do you
you
want to
can't
see the
just
drone
say
videos?
that
I mean,
quick.
they're on Ukrainian telegrams, dude, where they
Yeah.
post Ukrainian telegrams
No, give me
posting
an article. Give me an
themselves
article. I don't care
nuking.
about Telegram. Give me an
Dude,
article. Give me an
who
article.
cares if they're nuking? Who cares if they're nuking fucking medics? That's war. That's gonna happen. My point is that you can't make this out. You can't pearl clutch about these kinds of things because there is a concerted effort on both sides to be as evil and horrible to each other as possible. That's what war is. Anyways,
It's
this
not
whole idea of
equal,
honor and war,
Winter.
this whole idea of
Russia
honor
is
and war
invading
is
Ukraine,
so
Winter.
Oh wait,
okay. Yeah,
wait,
Like
wait,
no,
wait.
you
this
have
whole
you have
idea
an
of
What
honor
invading
is
and
your
war is
point,
force.
so
You
Winter?
have an
What is your
disturbing
invading
to
point,
me.
force. It's not
It's
Winter?
so
equal. It's
disturbing to
not
me. Like
equal. It's
you are
not
murdering
equal. I
people.
don't know
You're
why you're
gonna murder.
implying that it's equal. Like
Wait,
like
can
like
we just stick to
babies,
Why?
Gaza, Winter?
baby
What do
men
Why?
you,
and
Okay,
women, men
Winter?
and babies are being raped by Russians. So I don't even know why you're implying that's equal. There's no good evidence of Ukrainian soldiers raping Russian babies, is there?
no, there isn't.
Exactly. So I don't even know
I mean, I
why
don't
you're
know where
saying
that
it's
is.
like equal in any way.
No, I'm not saying it's equal. I'm saying I'm saying pearl clutching about attacking medics as an example is a very, very poor example. And it seems like I don't know. It seems like
Okay,
liberals
okay,
have this
what? Okay,
conception
hold
of war.
on, Winter,
It seems
Winter,
like liberals
Winter,
have this conception of war as this very honorable thing, and no civilians ever get hurt, and every death is
Winter,
justified
let
when you're
me,
killing someone.
Winter,
Yeah,
let me
yeah,
ask
go
you a
ahead.
question. What do you think the context is when I say the medics are like attacking medics is evil? Are they combat medics?
Yeah, they're combat
They're
medics
not. They're
evacuating
fucking not.
personnel.
Okay. Do you like the medics that are coming
Okay,
in to
great. Then
save
I'll
the
concede on. Okay,
civilians?
great. Then
Can
I'll
you?
concede on this point. My point is, dude, Foodshops. I'm not gonna be trapped in these trivialities with you again. I'll concede
So
on this point if it means that much to you.
they're attacking the injured civilians
Okay,
twice.
just
Okay, great.
When
concede,
Okay,
they
then
when they
man.
just
Just
double
like
attacking
tap,
civilians is
completely.
bad. Everybody
it
knows that
isn't
attacking civilians is bad.
if
Okay, so
their purpose listen to me. If their purpose was attacking the medics and to take out combat medics or whatever, why wouldn't they just simply try to target like military tents or military bases only, or hospitals only? Why do they target specifically civilians and then double tap injured civilians from shrapnel
well,
strikes?
why? Okay, so if they're attacking
That's
civilian
unhinged.
areas, if they're attacking civilian areas and then following up the initial attack on civilian areas with another strike, yeah, I agree, that's unhinged. But like, I, I don't think that they would, even just in terms of optics, I don't think that they would be claiming that they're attacking civilian areas. They would at least claim that there's some sort of military target there. But all of this is trivial and besides the point. What the point here
Yeah.
is that
Okay.
the point here is that Israel has a vested interest in splintering resistance groups, right? Sort of like how they splinters Hamas and Fatah in the West Bank. It's about dividing and conquering. Just because it's like, oh, geographically only Gazans are being killed right now, and the fucking West Bank Palestinians are eating well, which they're not, by the way. They're under constant surveillance. It's pretty horrible there. But that's besides the point. The point is, you wish to divide and conquer your opposition, do you not? You wish to splinter. You wish to whether it be through geographical, ideological, even ethnic splintering. You wish to splinter your opposition in order to make them weaker. It's just divide and conquer. That is such a bad argument for why it's not a genocide. Yeah, I don't know.
I literally don't get what point you're trying to make right now. Like I literally don't know what you're saying.
The point
Yeah,
I'm
I thought
trying
it
to
would have
make.
been something better, not gonna lie.
No, the
Like
point
I
I'm
thought it
trying
would
to
be
make.
something
not gonna
regarding the
lie,
Russian-Ukraine thing.
No.
I think
The
like
point I'm
if I
trying
were
to
to
make is that
guess,
just because you're attacking one segment of your opposition, and that segment of your opposition is opposed to another segment of your opposition, does not mean that you don't view the opposition as one whole, and you're not just fueling a conflict between two factions and sects of your opposition in order to weaken them.
so the IDF is currently trying to point the uh the Palestinian population in Israel against the Palestinian population in Gaza. Is that what you're saying?
No, in the West Bank, Fatah specifically.
Oh, okay, sure, yeah, same, whatever. So
No.
you're
The
saying they're
difference is
trying to
that these
get
two ruling
Palestinians to
part.
turn against each other.
Yes, through ideological splits. Yes, they're saying, okay, so basically, as long as Hamas doesn't get support from Fatah
Can you show
and
me evidence of
Hamas,
this? This is crazy. Can you show me evidence
what do
of
you mean?
this?
Did you not see that Israel backed Hamas in the elections that which Hamas won? Like, was it in after the second Intifada, I believe?
What
And
does
then
that have to do
Israel
with
backed
literally
Fatah in the West
anything?
Bank. What do you mean? Israel backed the ruling party and
That's
Israel
probably the
backed
okay.
Israel backed
That's how you
the
did back
ruling party in the West Bank,
Hamas.
which is opposed to Hamas, and then Israel backed Hamas in
Yeah.
Gaza. They're trying to stick these people against each other. And my point is here that just because they're only attacking Hamas right now does not mean that they don't view the Palestinian people as a whole, which they're trying to exterminate.
I don't know why you're saying, oh yeah, Israel did this in terms of supporting Hamas during the elections, when like later on, it's like right now, I'm like trying to see how this divide and conquer thing is working right now. I don't know why you're saying something, referring to something that happened in 1990s, 2000s. What's
Okay, so
That
you
was
want to know how the divide and conquer strategy
2010,
is working right now? How about this? They're not. How about this? They're not. There's no tanks in the West Bank.
Okay, here's what I'm looking for in terms of evidence. Ready? I'm looking
It
for
doesn't need to
stuff,
be a
for example.
You're looking for unilateral. You're looking for a unilateral, all-out offensive against the Palestinian people, which they're not gonna do.
I'm not talking about that. You
Germans
didn't
did
let
not
me
even do this to the
finish.
Jews.
You
The
didn't. You
Germans didn't
didn't let
even
me
do this to the
finish,
Jews, bro.
Winter.
Okay, go ahead. I'm
Winter,
sorry.
you
Go
didn't
ahead.
let me finish.
Okay, go ahead. Finish.
Winter, I'm saying, is there any evidence that Israeli command has orders leaked in which the orders are saying to fund one group of Palestinians against another group of Palestinians in order for their self-interests? If there's no evidence, I don't know why you're saying this, and I don't know
Wait,
why
wait.
I'm wasting
You're
my
saying
time
okay. So
talking
you're
here.
saying leaked. Okay, so you're saying they're in order for this to in
Not
order for this.
necessarily leaked, but actual evidence.
Oh yeah,
Not like
you're
oh,
talking about
the Israel
explicit
supported
military.
Hamas
You're
back
talking about
then.
explicit
This is
military
well
command.
known
Explicit.
though.
Okay.
Food shops,
All
so I
right.
not I even though I hate to agree with his like whole point, I don't agree with his whole point. It was a well known event that I think Netanyahu propped up Hamas
Yeah, that's
specifically to
fine.
weaken the PLO.
Yeah, sure. I don't disagree.
Right.
I don't
It's the
disagree. Sure.
Palestinian
That's
yes, they
I'm
specifically
fine with
weakened the
that. Okay.
leftist
Yes. I
organization. They
get
funded
that.
an
Okay.
Islamist organization to.
There is no
Oh
fucking
god.
PLO in Gaza. Okay, right now. So I don't know why you're saying this. Right now,
What do you mean?
the only ruling
Okay,
party is Hamas.
obviously they're not propping up Hamas right now. They're sending they're
This is why I'm
obviously they're
asking.
not propping
This
up
is
Hamas right
why
now.
I
How are
no.
you
This
going to view
is
history in such an isolated little slice, dude? Or do you just eat food? When you eat food, do you just eat one grain of
this
rice? Holy
is
shit.
this is why I asked you why you
Mhm.
cited that in the first place, because I'm asking for the relevance to today's events. If it has no relevance to today's events, I don't know why you're
It
saying
does have
this.
relevance to today's events because it's literally history's a line, dude. You cannot view history as a point. Like I, I don't know how you do you want me to draw the do you want me to draw the do you want me to draw the history of the
You
from
didn't give me
Hamas
a line. You gave me
to
two
the PLO to
isolated
the
dots. That's what you gave me. I'm not drawing a line here.
Okay, sure. I mean, why don't you just
You're putting two lines on a line graph and you're calling it a correlation. That's the level of
all right,
dumbassery
dude.
like I have to deal
All
with right
right, dude.
now.
Food shops.
No,
Anyways, food
like
shops. I need you to
again,
concede. Anyways,
no,
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 shut the
the
fuck up. I need
reason
you to concede on this
no,
point, okay?
here's the thing.
This is the one point I want you to concede because you are
I
attacking one
would concede
segment of the population. This is precisely why
I would
fire
concede
said in
if I
part, right?
would
The definition
concede
of genocide
if
is in part. Okay.
I would concede if you can draw me a lot more than 2 points, aka more and more
Okay.
piling on
Sure,
of
I can do that.
evidence that shows me that the Israeli command, what they do is pit Palestinians against each
No, no.
other, and even
Here's what you
then tell me
misunderstand.
how,
It does not need to be a top-down. Genocide does not require a top-down. Genocide does not require a top-down official effort by a state to exterminate a group. Genocide does not need to, genocide can be emergent.
and even then, you have to provide me how that works in Israel's best interests at the moment. Go.
Dude, you repeated and even then so many times I lost your first words.
Yeah, it's almost as if you have to give me time to respond to what you're saying, like how I give you time to respond. It's called a conversation. Have you ever tried
Okay,
one?
okay. Anyways, food shops. Okay.
Do you realize this is why I never debate you on
When you
stream? It's
attack
just a waste
an
of time every
isolate,
time.
okay, when you attack an isolated sect of your opposition, does that mean that you love? Does that mean that you suddenly you don't want to kill all of your opposition?
When you attack an opposite set, can you give an example?
When you attack a sect of your opposition, does that mean
I don't
suddenly
know
that
why you're referring to a hypothetical when there's the real life example. So you're saying that Israel attacking
okay? Let's say you kill
Hamas is
Bosniaks in
not
Srebrenica. No,
necessarily.
no. Oh, listen to me. Let's say you kill Bosniaks in Srebrenica, but inside Novi Sad, all the Bosniaks, the Serbian Bosniaks are sipping wine and living happy. Obviously, you hate that they're doing that, but obviously you cannot do this kind of thing here, right? Because there's no war on the Serbian homeland, so there's no excuse to kill them there, right? So say you go into Srebrenica, kill 8,000 Bosniaks, but in Novi Sad, the Bosniaks are doing great. Let's say you go to Sarajevo and you shell Sarajevo for 8 months, but inside of Belgrade, you're fucking the Bosniaks there are doing just fine. Does that mean that you don't want to kill all the Bosniaks?
Does Serbia have access to the Bosniaks in Sarajevo and etc. and whatever
Does
at the
Serbia
time?
have access to the Bosniaks in Serbia or in Sarajevo?
No, in all these locations that you're saying.
Yes, they did. What
Yeah,
they surrounded Sarajevo. They starved them. They
Okay.
cut off the water. They cut off the poop. Everything. They were
but
killing them.
the
It was
only
a
genocidal
genocidal
massacre
war.
Hold
regarding
on,
that
But
was in
cutting
the
off the
Srebrenica,
water.
right?
Wait, did you say cut off the poop? You realize that
Yes,
cutting off the
they
water
cut off the
is a step
Susit.
in genocide, right? Like,
Yes, it
that
is.
is. Yeah.
But you know that's what I'm saying. Sarajevo's in Bosnia. What the fuck are you on about?
True. No, wait. At the
Wait, are
time,
you
the
thinking I'm
army
saying
had control
Sarajevo?
of.
No, are you okay? I think you're confusing the cities here. You think I'm saying that the Bosniaks in Sarajevo were sitting pretty, right? No, the Bosniaks in Sarajevo are the one getting attacked. I'm saying the Bosniaks in Belgrade were fucking sitting pretty. So you're just getting confused about the city names here. That's all.
The
Yeah, but they didn't have. Did they have control of Belgrade at the time?
I feel like the argument you're giving here is like, as long as there's at least one Bosniak that is having a vacation somewhere, it just means that like the
No, no, no.
Bosniaks
The
never got
argument
genocided or
No, that's not
something.
true. The argument I'm giving here is that the inverse is the negation of your argument. Basically,
Okay,
just
you
because
do you
that there
realize that going to the Bosnian genocide as an example like completely derailed? Just go to Israel versus Palestine. I don't know why I have to refer to
Dude, why
Bosnian
did you
genocide for
bring up
this
the
one.
Bosnian genocide as an example then? You brought up dude, you're the one who brought up Srebrenica, bro.
I
I'm sure
brought up that one because in particular I
oh my-
knew that we wouldn't get derailed because I would wrap back around to my original point. But you
Okay,
just
well
completely derailed us.
this wraps back around to my original
Yeah.
point in that Gaza is in a similar situation as to Sarajevo is in right now, isn't it? And the Bosniak parts of Serbia are in a similar situation to the Bosniak parts of Serbia were in a similar situation to the West Bank and the Palestinians in Israel are.
Okay, I don't even know all that much
Understand what
about Sarajevo, so I don't even know why you're bringing this up.
Okay, well,
Do you see
fine.
how it's
Look,
a waste of time now?
I'm trying to, I'm attempting to,
you
I'm
can't bring up
attempting,
an
Fuchsia, I'm
analogy that
attempting
I
to
don't get. Like,
listen.
yeah,
Okay, I'm
like
attempting to wrap it back around for you. So let me explain. Let me just okay. So
but I'm telling you,
what
there's
I'm
no
trying to
point
explain
in
is
bringing up there's no point in bringing up an
give me a
analogy that I
concrete
don't have the
example.
full
When I try to
knowledge
tie
of.
up that concrete example to the topic at hand, then you say suddenly you don't know anything about it. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Dude,
Okay, food
are you
shops.
okay? Like, do you
Yeah,
do
I'm
you need
fine.
to lie down for a
Are you
moment, or
stemming out, man? What the
what's going
fuck?
on? Like,
No,
Jesus,
I'm stemmed the fuck up right now. But anyways, food shops.
Jesus.
what
So
is happening?
again, I'm going to ask you
Yeah.
this question again. Do you think that just because only a sect of your opposition is being attacked means that you don't want to eliminate your opposition in whole?
Only a sect. Can you tell that in terms of Israel versus
Just
Palestine?
because they're only attacking Gaza because this is your point. Just because they're
Mm-hmm.
only attacking Gaza and the people in the West Bank are doing just fine, that
Mm-hmm.
means that there's no concerted effort to eliminate Palestinians as a whole. They don't view the entirety of Palestinians as their opposition.
Do you think the well, I have two ways of going about this. So
Okay.
the thing is no, I don't think so. No. I think that you would be making a concerted effort for both groups to eliminate both groups if you truly believed in taking over their land and eliminating their entire peoples.
Okay, but
Yeah.
so basically your qualification to this is that this must be unilateral. This must happen at the exact same time. Then Yadav has to
No,
fire
no
a
one is
shooting pistol into
saying
the air.
exactly at the same time, okay? I'm just saying there's no evidence for either. Does that make sense?
What do you think is going to happen to the West Bank after Gaza is conquered?
I don't know. Why would they not just do it right now? Fuck.
Because perhaps they don't have enough military resources to split between a war on two fronts. Perhaps because the optics wouldn't fly. I don't know. Like perhaps because there's just resource constraints, both in
Yeah,
optics and in
and maybe
material
there's a god
resources.
up there telling Israel to like stay their hand. Like any reason can fly at this point. This is why I need a specific piece of evidence. You can't just give me hypotheticals. You have to give me solid shit, dude. Like what are you doing here?
Wait, okay, dude. You didn't answer my question. I'm saying that okay. Wait, no, you did answer my question. So you're saying that there must be a specific reason why, as to they're not attacking at the exact same time, and that reason needs to be public and needs to be known, and there needs to be some leak from the Israeli high command where they consciously say, oh, we don't have enough resources to attack the West Bank as well right now, or something like that.
Why the fuck would they attack
Okay,
West Bank like
I'll
that?
give you a
Like
reason.
Hamas
Because they don't
doesn't
have
have their
pretext.
base of operation.
Okay. How about this?
Because
Because they don't
Hamas
have
doesn't.
pretext.
Hamas's
Because they
base
don't
of
have pretext to
operations
attack the
is
West Bank, so
more
the optics would look
entrenched
bad.
within the Gazan population than versus the West Bank. There is Hamas
No,
presence in West Bank, but they're not carrying out incredibly hardcore military operations in the West Bank like that.
Hamas? Okay, so you're saying that they're...
Why in the world would the IDF attack the West Bank if like that, like how they did with
Because the
Gaza?
okay, there you
If the
go.
West
Because
Bank didn't cause October 7th.
there's no... What? That's what I'm saying. There's no pretext. If there's no pretext, they can't do anything. If there's no pretext, you can't do anything. If there's no 9/11, you don't go into Iraq. You know what I mean? Like, there needs to be pretext. So perhaps there's another resource constraint.
Winter,
Lack of
get ready.
pretext.
Winter, can you prove to me that you didn't rape anyone?
Can I prove to you that I didn't rape anyone?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
I
didn't
can
rape
prove to you I
anyone.
didn't rape. I can
Okay, prove it.
absolutely prove to you I didn't
Prove it.
rape anyone.
Prove it.
What, do you want me to say I'm a virgin? Like, what do you want me to say?
I don't know, prove it. Just prove it. Give me
You want
any
you want
solid
me to
proof that you
prove to you
didn't
that
rape
I'm
anyone.
you want me to
Exactly,
prove to you
Winter.
that
The
I
point
haven't
is
raped
that you
anyone?
can't prove a negative. You can't state a negative claim like that. Like you're saying, because you're doing the all lead to Rome thing, where you go like, yeah, exactly. Every single step that the IDF takes is in some way a 400 IQ, 40 chess move that leads back around to Palestinian genocide. That is retarded.
No, that is absolutely not what I'm saying. That's a straw man of the highest order.
Like
What I'm
it's just like
saying is,
it's just no, Winter. It's just like you're asking me, Foodshops, can you prove to me that a genocide is not happening right now? That's what you're asking me. This is why I asked
so you
you, can
want
you
so you
prove to me
want
that you
to so
didn't
you
rape
want me to
anyone?
give you a positive proof that there's
Like, how am I
genocide right now,
supposed
okay?
to? What am I supposed to
So
tell you?
what are the
Like, oh,
qualifications
here's
for
all the evidence that genocide is not
so
happening. In fact,
okay, you know what? You
what
know
the
what? Okay,
fuck?
forget the idea of the Palestinian people as a whole, because I don't know,
But
you
that's
don't
the
know anything
topic.
about.
But that's the
You literally
topic.
use these the brave bro tactics to wiggle out of it. Do you think there's a
Debate bro
genocide of
tactics.
Gazans
Okay.
specifically?
Of Gaza
Gazans specifically.
From the stuff that I know of, it's wishy-washy, but I'd lean towards no.
Okay, wait 1 second. My mom just came in.
Okay, am I done? Can I just move on my stream? Let's Fire. What's
No,
your
okay,
opinions?
no.
What's
Listen,
your
I'm
thoughts
back.
on Winter? Mm-hmm.
Now, regarding the
You live with your mom,
I don't
Winter?
know.
No, I'm here for the summer because it's too hot in Arizona.
I
Okay,
honestly, I
dude.
kind of just blanked out with Winter. I don't know. He's talking with like fucking. He's saying Palestine is a whole
Winter. The
sect
concurrent
or
viewer,
some shit.
the viewer count is dropping. Okay, I'm gonna have to let you go. Okay, Winter.
Oh no. Okay.
And
All right.
besides, you're
Bye.
not doing so hot, so bye. Okay, all right. Fire. Is there anything else?
Okay.
Any closing statements?
No. But like,
Okay.
oh,
Dude, you're
I just
cooked.
think
Your
next time
lawyer,
you just
dude, Winter can't be your lawyer, dog. You're about to lose this court case. It's over.
what? Winter?
Your Honor, blah
You,
blah 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 blah. Yeah, go ahead. What's up?
what? Okay, bye. Take care, man.
All right.
Was that
Okay. I don't. Why do these two have to make everything awkward as fuck? Okay, I'm trying to be smooth and suave with my jokes. Okay, Jesus, no one can run with my jokes these days. Okay. All right, let's double check on J Stock. Let's go. Inshallah, they'll come back the next week to ask for another fucking debate.